We are joined now by Creighton senior and the most outstanding player of the 2020 Big East Volleyball Tournament, Naomi Hickman. We will take questions. If you've got a question, please use the raised hand feature. We will get you called on. Our first question to Matt DeMarinis.
Hey, Nate, congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can you just take us through maybe what's going on with your little player huddles at 24-21 in set 3 when it seems like Marquette has basically controlled the first hour of those proceedings, and then all of a sudden, here you come?
Yeah, I think we were really just talking about like focusing on what we can control and really just being locked in on our side of the net, keeping it clean, and then just putting up a big block, so knowing where their hitters are at, and really just staying locked in and focused at that point, and believing in ourselves that we could come back even in that third game. Yeah.
Emma?
Similar question. Once you're down 24-21, what's your key in keeping that mentality with so many set points?
I think our mentality had to be just like to go for the ball, and just like really swing high and hard and be smart, but also not be afraid to take risks at that point, because that's, what we had to do at that point. And I was really proud of everyone willing to go for it and just really take risks to get kills.
Matt Foster?
Naomi, I know it's always special to make it to the NCAA tournament, but this year especially, what does it mean to you to have your ticket punched to the tournament?
I think it means just the world to us. Our team, we love each other and fight for each other, and I think I was just so proud of everyone. And so being able to then go to the NCAA tournament and have it here in Omaha just means the world to us. And hopefully we get fans there, and we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great ride.
John?
Yeah, Naomi, I'm wondering, you guys have played in a lot of close matches this year, but also throughout your career. But did today feel any different? I mean, just because, it's a smaller NCAA tournament field. You guys want to be there. You knew you had to win to get in. Like, in those tense moments, did it feel any different today?
I think we all were very much aware of what we were playing for. So there was big things at stake, which I think we were aware of, but it was just exciting to get the opportunity to be there, to be playing for a championship and the ability to go to the NCAA. So it felt probably about like the same, but also just exciting.
Again, if you got a question, please use the raised hand feature. We'll go back to Matt DeMarinis.
Yeah, I know this might be a little bit overplayed a little bit, but you can't help but looking back throughout your individual career and noticing that in all the big matches that you've played in, or most of the big matches that you've played in, those are your best performances. Do you approach those matches differently, or how do you begin to explain why you always have your best when that is kind of when it's time?
I think the goal is to approach every match the same, of just like the mindset of like coming in to win and be the best that I can be. But I think sometimes it's, it's exciting to play in big matches. So I think, I don't know, the adrenaline really like adds up, and I just enjoy like being on that stage with my teammates. Is really a great opportunity.
Are there any other questions for Naomi? John?
Offensively, you guys do mix it up a lot. You never quite know who's going to be kind of the go-to option, and it wasn't like you were the only one getting kills today. But I wonder, like, did you get a sense like, oh yeah, today there's going to be some openings for me, if you did, or when you realized that there'd be an opportunity to help the team in that way?
Yeah, I think our setters did just a really great job of distributing the ball. And as middles, like, our job is just to be up and ready at any time to deliver the kill. So I think, our setters did an incredible job, and we do have a lot of offensive parity, which I think is a strength of our team. So I don't think that's something to take for granted, because everyone really delivers and played a great game today.
Any last questions for Naomi? All right. Thank you, Naomi. We will have Coach Booth shortly.
Thank you.
All right. We are joined now by Creighton head volleyball coach Kirsten Bernthal Booth. Kirsten, if you want to make an opening statement, then we'll take questions.
That was really fun. You know, Marquette's a outstanding team. I think they deserve to get a bid into the tournament. I think if you watched the match, you saw that it was a high quality match. But we played a really great match. You know, last time when they beat us, they served us off the court and they went after Keeley, and she struggled early, and I could not be more proud of her because she passed the rock over and over again and really did it in some clutch moments. And she didn't have her best hitting night. And that's what I'm probably more proud, is that she didn't let that affect what she was doing. So she carried a ton of load for us. But obviously we've hung our hat on blocking all year. That was really, really important for us today. I thought our setters made perhaps the best decisions they've made in a while. I thought our parity was good. We were difficult to predict where we were going. And it was a battle. Match could have got, I mean, obviously the third set was really, really critical. So really fun, really excited to continue to get to play.
Okay, we'll go to questions. We'll start out with Matt Foster.
Coach, I know all championships are special and meaningful to you, but given everything that you, this team, your coaching staff has gone through this last year, where does this one compare to the rest?
It's hard to compare, but this one does have a sweetness that is a little bit different for a variety of reasons. It's been a really challenging year, obviously, that we all know, but coaching, I mean, every day there's something new, and it's been hard on the coaches, it's been hard on the players. But man, they've worked hard every day. And I mean, Naomi said this, they love each other, and I'll defend any day when you can get a group of a team, if it's men or women, to love each other, they play better. And I think you see that, and they don't give up on each other, and they'll take risk, and all those things are key. But I told them, you know, it may be the best heart I've ever seen from a team. You know, we've figured out a way to kind of, you know, what we are special at. We're special at blocking, but man, they're resilient. I mean, to do what they did yesterday against UConn in the second game, and to do what we did in the third game against Marquette, it tells you what kind of heart and grit this team has.
Matt DeMarinis.
Yeah, I think it's probably been a tough year to figure out what maybe your identity is. I think, you know, you mentioned the blocking there, but is it possible that your identity is just that you are at your best when your backs are against the wall? Because it seems like this team has kind of proven over and over again that when the adversity is like piled up, that's when you see like their best, I guess.
Well, I think you can mental things or physical things. No question, yeah. Physically, blocking makes us special. And I would also argue our offensive parity makes us special. They have responded, other than the very first game against South Dakota, where we, you know, we're up 2-0 and then lost the next three. We have, you know, battled in tough situations over and over again, and not been perfect, but they've been able to make plays at critical times. And they're a gritty team.
John?
So in set three, when, you know, you guys are kind of going back and forth, and you fend off some set points, and the score just keeps going up in the high 20s. And it's like, as from our perspective, we're watching this and we're thinking, wow, this is amazing. How as a coach, do you comprehend that moment where it's, you know, just so back and forth, and obviously a really critical juncture in the match?
Well, being transparent, you know, I kind of thought we were going to lose that game. You know, we were down so far. So psychologically, you know, what we talked about when we were down huge, I think 17-12 and another maybe 20, I don't know, Rob would know, but we were down huge late in the game. And we talked about in the huddle of two things. We were in this situation against UConn, so we know that we can battle back. And then the second thing is, we more importantly need to get momentum to move into the next game. So let's not worry about the score. Let's worry about playing clean volleyball. So I think I got stressed at about 28 all, John, because up till then I was like, oh, this is icing. I thought we were going to be 2-1 at this point. So that's probably not what a coach should say, but that's kind of what I was feeling of how are we going to be ready to move into the next game and hopefully a 5th set.
Emma?
It felt like that last set, you guys really just had that momentum and kept it fast paced. How important was it to keep that momentum on your guys' side?
I think really critical that start at the beginning was big because now we knew, I mean, obviously Marquette didn't roll over and it was close all the way to the end. We had a big lead and then they made the push, but yeah, you always get concerned when you win an emotional game, like the 3rd game, that I literally went into the huddle and I said, no more happiness. We are not happy. We are focused. We are moving on. Because I think sometimes you win a big game like that and you kind of laugh and you're excited and then you lose focus. So that they thought that was pretty funny when I came in and said, no more happiness in the huddle. Let's move on.
John?
You mentioned Keely, and teams have just been trying to wear her down all year, haven't they? Just tried to attack her with a serve because they know what she can do on the other end. But my amateur perspective has kind of been up and down for her, but to see her perform it the way you kind of mentioned it, but like how hard has she worked at it? I'm sure a ton. What have you seen in terms of her growth in terms like handling that aspect of the game?
Well, that was the game plan when they beat us. They were going after Keely and Jayla, and we struggled big time in the game so it was, and then again, they aced Keely early in game 1 several times. So some players would just fold at that point in the matches. Literally they won't bounce to a future match. And so that's when I say I'm so proud of her is that she regrouped and became, an incredible passer throughout that game. And Marquette hangs their hat on several things, but one of them is they are a fierce serving team. And so those weren't like little lobs that were being thrown into our passers. They made some great passes off tough serves.
Matt DeMarinis?
This is kind of Kiara's, first go at these do or die matches, but it seemed like just whenever you needed something today, she would, make a play to stem the tide, or maybe it doesn't put you over the top, but it keeps Marquette from taking full control. Like what impressed you about the way she kind of had little answers for you along the way?
Well, this is exciting as a coach. The 2 freshmen that are on the court are gamers. I thought Ellie had one of her best matches. She passed really well. And then Kiara was a monster, and they're resilient. Both of them can make an error and bounce. And again, I think that skill doesn't get talked about enough. You have to be able to move on when you're in a sport of errors. And so both are highly competitive. Kiara was a monster blocking wise. She was over 2 blocks a game. Those are crazy numbers, really against a lot of times one-on-one situations. But man, again, both of them play with a lot of passion. They're fun for the team to play with. And I thought, neither of them played like freshmen today.
Matt Foster?
Coach, I know sometimes Selection Sunday can be a little hectic, especially when you don't have that automatic bid, but knowing that you have that in your back pocket, how much are you looking forward to just kind of being able to sit back, relax, watch for you guys who are going to be able to play and who you're going to be able to play as opposed to sweating it out this year, especially with a smaller tournament field?
Well, I tell you what, if you can believe in 18 years, we've either been in or out. I have never gone on a Selection Sunday on the bubble. I'm going into the bubble, but on the bubble, which I think is amazing, and we knew if we lost today, we were going to experience that, oh my goodness, is our name popping up? And there's about 6 or 7 teams that would be fighting for a spot or 2. So I am so grateful that we performed well today to just go and be able to enjoy tomorrow. And I told the team, I said, everyone's got their superstitions. I really have not done any research on what we're getting into. There was a meeting. We had practice. I need to watch it. It was a Zoom. So I told them I'll have information by tomorrow, but I don't know what the bubble looks like because I didn't want to be thinking ahead. I thought that would lose the match for us. So there's my craziness for you.
Matt DeMarinis?
Appreciate how candid you are. It's so funny. I know we can probably rewind every press conference that you guys have played against Marquette and find a Naomi Hickman question, because she just, for some reason, like, this is just, she has this team's number. But, you know, an MVP weekend for her as a senior, especially in a season like, you know, that has been so challenging for probably for her in a lot of ways. What does it, you know, mean to you as someone who's watched her, you know, grow over the years to see it kind of come to this moment and her rise to it?
Yeah, so excited for Naomi in a couple different capacities. First, a lot of our kids put their academic rigors in the spring, and so she, along with Grace Nelson and Erica Kostelak, have been kind of, you know, she's doing nursing clinicals, they're student teaching, and so people don't understand how hard it is. A lot of times they're coming in after being on their feet all day, coming into practice. So, but Naomi shows up every single day to work, and she always has the same great attitude, and those are special attributes. And then the other thing that's different is Nay had 2 new setters this year. And unless you play the game, you don't realize how difficult that is. And so that development on connection with the setters, I mean, her numbers, you know, have kind of continued to go up, and we've been able to get the ball more often to her, has been because it's a progression to get used to new setters. So I'm excited for Nay. I mean, you guys know that she is just, I can't say enough good things about her as a human being. So you always cheer for people like that.
Any additional questions for Coach Booth? Again, use the raised hand feature. We got time for a couple more, if there are anything.
Thanks, guys. Good
All
to
right.
see everybody.
Thank you.